So we're going to continue on where we left off, except where we left off is not where we are now. Because Cad did a thing. So, chat. I got to my lunch break earlier today, and I played this a little bit on my lunch break, and I was level 15. And I know you're thinking, holy crap, he's done a ton. I actually haven't. Here's what I did while I was offline from stream. I literally did 1 Ember Gathering, 1 Training Ground, and that got me to level 17. Does anyone know why level 17 matters in FGO? Just a pop quiz here. Level 17 is the first level at which you have 40 AP on your bar. Until you have 40 AP, you cannot do certain quests. So for instance, you can't do the Mystic Code quests until you have 40 AP. It doesn't matter how much you have like overflow. If you don't actually have 40 AP for a total, it won't let you do it. So I've done all my Mystic Code quests except this last rung of this last one here, because I wanted to save this to show you guys a little bit on stream, but I've gotten the Plug Suit one done, and I've gotten the Mage Association one done. That makes things way nicer. From there then, because I got them done, and I had like leveled up partially along the way, I came into my daily quest and I went, hey, it's Friday. I have Waver and I have Nitocris, and it is Caster Training Ground Day. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna do it. Though I did stop to do at least 1 extreme Ember Gathering, which has now rotated, I believe. Okay, no, there you go. Or was it? Yeah, it was the Saber Ember Gathering. So I did 1 extreme Saber Ember Gathering, and then I came down here and I was like, no, I need to take advantage of this while it lasts. But yeah, that's exactly what we've done. So we'll go ahead and we'll kind of start things out right. Kind of walk you guys through the daily process. Come down in here, check your tickets. Again, you can exchange them if you want. I'm still holding off. They don't expire for a while. Check your login bonuses. Check your missions over here, particularly like your weeklies and stuff. Grab all of your tutorial stuff that you've managed to get done. Same thing if there's any like limited time campaigns. So we have a bonding one for the 23 million downloads campaign. There's also for a couple more days the Pilgrimage Festival quests. So I'll actually be kind of working on that here a little bit. I've actually gone ahead and used all my evocation leaves here for right now to acquire basically Kentucky Riders Ascension materials. So they're no longer here to purchase. It cost me 200 of the leaves. Definitely something you got to do, because you're not gonna be able to level him up to max unless you get those. And we've already, as of the last stream, covered by getting 1 of these extra copies. So Kentucky's kind of okay for right now. So probably one of the things I'm actually going to do is I'm going to try to like come back in here and probably get Jerker here, aka John Ultra Berserker, and get her done, because she's one of the part 3 Evocation Festival, aka Pilgrimage Festival units. So she'll allow me to complete those missions, which will get me just even more rewards. There's 22 hours left in the rare prism exchange, but we don't have any rare prisms, so there's nothing we can do with that. Even if you do, there's some things you kind of want to go after first. Your mana prisms, again, I highly recommend getting more summoning tickets as they come available. Once you get those, then it becomes a little bit more open as to what to get with your mana prisms. But the tickets are by far the first thing you want to get and the most important. Okay, so one of the other things you want to make sure you do every day, especially as a new player, I'm going to come over here to the friend point gotcha and do your free summon every single day. Do that. It's going to get you just free units, free craft essences, you name it. And even like 3-star craft essences and units that can really be useful to you. Even some of the lower rarity units can be really nice. Yeah, Crimson Black Keys, definitely not a bad one. So there you go. We got a new writer, Bartholomew Roberts. He's honestly not the best, but hey, he can work in a pinch, especially if I need a backline 1-star. Okay, we don't have enough FP. I think I did roll out 1 FP roll off stream, but I got like just a duplicate Asterios. I did not get like anything of substantial value, which is gonna happen. FP, you're gonna get a ton of FP over time, and it's something where just understand at first you're gonna need it a lot, but it's not gonna be that big of a deal. So we're gonna go ahead now, and we're gonna kind of come up here. We're gonna finish the Mystic Code, as that's going to be a good thing. Now, some of these quests are a little bit harder, so I do recommend taking a good carry. So you can see we're up against Berserkers and Lancers, so we're going to want a really good Saber unit to kind of carry us. Who that's going to be, it definitely depends. Usually you're looking for, again, a high level account is usually a good sign. Units that have maxed out skills is a good sign. And particularly if you look at some of the units and what they have equipped, if they have a pretty decent 50% charge C or something like that on them, that's going to be at least somebody that should be able to like do quite a bit for you throughout the node. But it doesn't have to be stuff like that. You can definitely look for other things. You can look for single target options. It really just depends. I did also get my first friend. I just was kind of sending out friend requests as I was using units, and people actually did accept. So it was what it was. Why don't I go ahead and show off Musashi Saber here. She's a really cool unit, and she is a single target nonetheless, so she's not going to be necessarily good for like farming in a node, but she will at least be able to like really bonk stuff pretty hard. And she's starting out with an MLB K-scope, a max limit broken K-scope. So that's why you guys can see it starts out literally at 100% of her NP gauge. Really a nice CE. Not the best for damage, but it's really good for getting your Noble Phantasm out right away. And some units just really need that at times depending on their kit. So definitely not a bad one for her. Again, Nido Chris is level 40. We did level up Kentoki to level 40 as well. So both of them have access to their second skill now. Definitely another thing I worked on off stream. I also got Waver's third skill up to rank 2, which now means that I don't have any QP whatsoever. Again, I warned you guys about QP. It'll be a thing the second you start trying to touch people's skills. Leveling and ascending units, usually not too bad, but the second you start trying to level unit skills, particularly the higher rarity they are, the more they cost. So it starts to get really hefty in that regard. But it's just a temporary issue. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I will actually go ahead and change out Billy. I did at least kind of level Caesar here a little bit, keep him on the back line. But at this point now, it's less about advantage because the carry is going to kind of carry us. It's less about advantage and more about we're just kind of trying to put in units that actually have a little bit of investment into them so far in case stuff falls apart. Maybe the unit dies on you and you end up having to use your own units, or maybe like the unit you have on the front line alongside the carry dies and one of your backline units has to rotate in. You're going to want it to be somebody that at least has a little bit of health. Can we send you friend requests on your free-to-play account? No. The reason why I've chosen to do this is my stance with this is that I'm trying to show new players how to kind of get into the game and allow them to follow alongside me. New players aren't going to be established players and content creators that have a huge group of friends. So if I were to let you guys get on my friends list, that would be something that most new players could not easily do. So I'm literally going for the authentic new player experience in that regard. I'm not doing anything that anybody else couldn't do, and I'm trying to keep things that way. You guys can see Musashi has an actual triple buster deck. Really nice at times for damage. She can just kind of card her way right through things, and she can do some really, really solid work. Now, there you go. You can see my Nido Chris is just getting beat up here. Her third skill is actually a gut skill, which would help her stay alive in a situation like this. But we don't really necessarily have that, so we're just going to go ahead and pop that heal on her from the Mystic Code. Again, the heal skill actually only has a 9-turn cooldown. You might think that's a lot, but as far as Mystic Codes go, that's actually not. And we haven't even really leveled up this Mystic Code very much. So definitely a nice thing to kind of get that out early and let the cooldown start ticking in case we need it for later. And we're kind of just going to card through this first wave here. It's not a huge, like, important thing, but the idea behind it is the first wave is usually the easiest, so you want to, like, kind of card it if you don't have enough Noble Phantasm power to brute force your way through. And so that's kind of what we're going to do here. Definitely not liking the cards here, so I'm going to go ahead and pop Nitocris's first skill. It's actually going to give her a little bit more healing. And one of the other things we're going to do is we're going to pop Waver's damage cut. Yes, it does have the NP gain, but it's going to also make us just take less damage, so have a little bit more tank ability here for right now. Now, I could go ahead and use Nitocris's Noble Phantasm here. It's definitely something to consider, but it's not something that, like, I need to do, and we really only have the one more homunculus left. It's kind of a waste at this point to fire off her Noble Phantasm if we don't have to. Gonna do a Mighty Chain here involving Nitocris and Musashi's cards, and the entire reason we're gonna put Musashi's cards later in the chain because she's the actual leveled unit here that's effective. So this will allow her to have more firepower to be able to card it out. Just send friend requests to random people when you first start out. Yeah, I mean, I would try to aim for higher level people if you can, just to help yourself out. But realistically, there's no harm. Just send it out to anybody whose characters you use. And then if you decide later, like, hey, man, my friends list is full and I don't need some of these other accounts, maybe they're not as robust, you can always remove them. Really, there's a ton of friend space in FGO. Most people have trouble filling their accounts out. So it's not too bad of a deal to just kind of carpet bomb your requests a little bit. Okay, so now we have this. We still have basically one turn of the death chance up for Nitocris, so we kind of need to NP with her here. And this is something you guys can do. You can actually see the duration of buffs if you basically click on a character's, like, bottom part here, or click on their portrait up here, just anywhere other than the skills. And you can kind of see certain details about the character. It can help you out. You can see their passes and stuff. You're not going to get nitty-gritty stuff like percentages and things. That is one of the unfortunate natures of FGO, is it's not terribly descriptive. So for that stuff, you're going to have to go to that fandom website we talked about. But again, you can kind of come in here, see the buff durations, and be like, okay, I know it's not going to run out. Usually most skills in FGO are either 1 turn or 3 turn durations. There are obvious exceptions to that, but just pay attention when you're first using skills. Kind of click on them, and, well, at least with your finger if you're playing on mobile, with your mouse if you're playing on an emulator. But basically, just click on it, hold it down, and it'll show you the details of this. Again, one of the other things I did is I skipped enemy fade out over here in the settings, and then I turned off confirm skill use because I already know what the skills do. I don't need to read it every time, so I'm literally just going to send it. Now, these are not fodder enemies. I maybe would have been better to actually go ahead and fire off Nito's NP on turn 1, but these enemies are also going to hurt, and they're going to suck. So we're just going to kind of send Nito's NP out and hope for the best at this point. We're going to form another Mighty Chain here, just to give us the best chance, really, at killing stuff after the NP, because she's not going to death proc everybody here. And she got the one on the right, which was unfortunate because that was the lowest health one. But you can see we're going to at least get some decent follow-up there. We get a nice lucky crit from Musashi. And basically, well, Waver's looking a little bit worse for wear there. We're going to go ahead and pop Waver's attack up. His is a 3-turn duration. But I'm reasonably confident that at this point, we can kind of just get the job done irregardless. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and use Waver's arts card here. He's getting close to his Noble Phantasm. And if we have the opportunity to use it, I'll show it off, because it's actually another reason why Waver can be pretty good for you. Okay, now we're in the final wave, and we're up against a pretty hefty Chimera. Let's check our cards here. We have 1 Musashi card, so this is actually kind of perfect for this scenario. I'm going to go ahead and pop the attack buff on her, because we're going to be NPing with her. You could use 5th Force here. It's really good. This skill's really complex in its description. It basically doesn't, like, have the impact that some people think it does. It is an overall net increase to damage output. A lot of people think it's like somehow it's doubling but dividing, and it's like, it is. So understand that that's just a net 0 normally, but as the skill is leveled up, so again, this is a level 10, it's a maxed out skill, it gets a lot more capability from that. We're gonna go ahead and use that, but it doesn't affect her Noble Phantasm, but it will affect this card at least. We're gonna pop her second skill here because it has the Buster buff. Her third skill is a invuln, and that will allow her to like not take damage. We could pop it early, but she's not really in danger of dying unless the Chimera starts to like crit or something. The second skill, though, on top of the Buster card, has Ignore Invincible. This is what we talked about. So this is actually the skill that would pierce invincibility if an enemy had the effect and used it against you while you were using invincibility. So definitely something to watch out for, but something you can also use against enemies that have invincibility. I'm going to take Waver's crit damage buff, and I'm not going to put it on Musashi. I probably should, but you'll see why here in a second. I did this to get him to his Noble Phantasm. Again, we've already used the Mystic Code buff, so we're going to put Waver's Noble Phantasm before Musashi's. Because what Waver's does is it gives a defense down to the enemy and can potentially stun and curse the enemy as well. It will also drain the enemy guaranteeably of their Noble Phantasm charge by 1 tick. So you can delay an enemy's Noble Phantasm. He's a good stall and setup unit in that regard, on top of his already really supportive kit. And from there, we've already got Musashi's MP slotted in, so we'll go with her card for the third card. There you go. We didn't land the stun. It's only like a 50% chance, so it's half and half. But we did at least get the curse and the defense down on it. So the defense down is going to set this up to do pretty decent damage. You guys can see Musashi's beautiful NP. As she slices through the void. And there you go, overkill, which means we definitely killed it. In fact, one of the hits actually got the overkill modifier. Not going to make it deal more damage, but it would make it potentially get more NP generation or critical stars generated if they needed to. And again, we have the bond up screen at the end, so you guys can see as you bond up servants, you're going to get additional rewards. So you're going to get servant coins for the units appends. You're going to get again, additional profile updates for finding out more about the servant and their bond lines and stuff. And you might potentially unlock upgrades for the units, at least the capability to go do a quest to get the upgrade. So it's something to pay attention to. It's really good. You can also get additional things like quartz, the gacha currency for the game, but that's going to be stuff that you'll get after bond level 5. Usually getting the first 5 bond levels is what you want to do. That's where the immediate, like, you know, unit, like, profile and upgrade unlocks are. But for bond levels 6 through 10, that's where you'll get additional currency. There's actually all the way up to 15, but that's going to require a different thing, and it's going to take a little bit. So we don't have to worry about that too much for a new player. Anyways, for right now, this is going to be actually one of your ways that you will get currency for the gacha. So you want to be bonding units efficiently over time. You don't have to go like insane with it, but you definitely want to try to get people like actually bonding and utilize it effectively. And that's something that, again, I've talked about in some of my other videos. I've talked about it in the new player guide that I have, but it's something that as a master in FGO, you're really going to need to get used to. So you can see we bonded up Nitocris and we bonded up Caesar at least. And we got a little bit more master experience. We leveled up again, which maxes out our AP yet again. More friend slots and again, a greater AP gauge as well. And then our Mystic Code's leveling up. It's already level 5 because again, I've been doing a little bit of work here in between the sessions, but don't worry about it too much. It's just stuff you can do. We have not advanced the story at all. And again, this guy was pretty good. We can go over here. We can look at his support list. He's got some nice support units over here with Nero Bride and Tamamo. Tamamo in particular has got a really nice CE on her. Actually, so does Nero Bride in that regard. We've got the game's actual meta support, like the best one in the game, which is Castoria there. Looking at this, we got Merlin. It's another meta support there. We've got Reigns, who's a 50% charger and also a support. We've got Original Scotty, who's a quick support and 50% charger. We've got Summer Scotty, who's also a quick support and 50% charger. So again, really nice loadout this person has. He also has Waver, just like us. He's got Proto Merlin. This is another, like, it's like the arts version of Original Merlin. It's a really good challenge support unit. And Koyanskaya as well here, who's kind of one of the premier buster units. And even Oberon, who's also another really, really good damage amplifying support. So the reason I look at a lot of this is I look to see what supports does the person have. As long as they have good meta supports, I know this is probably a pretty good account. I know that they are taking care of it if I see that the appends are somewhat worked on or the skills are maxed out. Especially if I see higher Noble Phantasm levels, it can also be a good sign that the person maybe spends a lot on the game or at least has been playing a long time. Though don't get confused, because there are other ways you can get Noble Phantasm levels for units. Your SSRs, aka your 5 stars, are usually going to be ones that you have to roll for to get additional copies. But certain things like 4-star units and 3-star and lower units, it may be like, hey, the 3-star and lower ones, you might get it from the FP pool. 4-star units, it might be a welfare unit that's given out for free where you get all the copies. So it's something to pay attention to, but it's not the end all be all. It's not something that necessarily is like something you have to hang on. You're really just looking for people that play the game consistently, have well taken care of accounts. Those are going to be the people that long term you want to have on your friends list. People that are playing every day and are actually like active that you can rely on. And it looks like I had a second friend, so somebody else has finally accepted my request as well. Yeah, in case anyone's wondering, my very first friend was Ed. I don't know who Ed is, but thank you, Ed, for being my first friend. Let's go see who my second friend is. So you can friend request people that you're also following. And you can send it, but they may have a full friends list. So you can see here, Holier King has reached their maximum number of friends. That just means their friends list is full. You can still follow them and use their units for like story purposes, but you're not going to necessarily be able to like make them a like, I'd say permanent friend, but technically friends aren't permanent because the other person can remove you. Both players have to consent to have like a friendship actually be formed. And when you use them as a friend, they'll appear more frequently on your support listings and stuff like that. So it just is what it is. It looks like Ed and Aikide have both accepted me. So again, level 161 and level 160, these are very high level accounts for right now. So it's really, really good. They probably looked at my account. They're like, holy crap, this is some new player, but he actually has his act together because I have my support list loaded out. So they probably looked at that and they're like, wow, that support list is utter trash, but he knows what he's doing, at least to an extent. So maybe we should accept this person. Maybe we'll just accept them just to help out. Some players do that. They just want to help out a newer player because they understand new players need friends too. So it's really, really good of people to do that. It's kind of a pay it forward type of system where it's like, when you get bigger and you get better, you can also accept new friends and help them out. Okay. So again, we got all of our Mystic Code quests done right there. Feel free to, you know, like pause this and go and get your other ones done. I just wanted to walk you guys through that and show you a little bit harsher nodes there, but don't be too intimidated by it. Just take someone that's pretty strong. I do recommend maybe an AoE unit for a lot of those, because a lot of them are those 3 enemy waves with maybe a higher health enemy in the 3rd wave, which could be a little bit difficult for an AoE, but getting through the earlier waves matters a little bit for keeping your health intact. So it can definitely be a good thing there. I just wanted to show off the single target there because I knew I could get away with it. But definitely try to do your best with that sort of thing. So again, we got that done. I can keep farming various other things if we want. I'm also going to come in here and receive. So I got just an extra quartz there and that. Actually, oh, we are really close. I don't think I quite have enough. I got to get another quartz. So let's go do a story mission real fast. That'll get it to me. And then we can do another multi, basically. So got to do these 2 story missions. Because, again, let me actually load back out of this real fast here. Basically, you have to complete these 2 rungs, and then when you do, you'll get the rewards that are over here. So you'll see these rewards, but it's not going to be given to you for completing the first one. And again, definitely read the story in FGO. It's fantastic. It'll really make you like the characters. The writing, especially for some of the earlier singularities, might not be like top notch, but you will thank yourself for having read it later. You'll understand the way things are going and the way concepts at play are working in the game. And you'll definitely be able to do a little bit more with that sort of stuff. Same thing here. I'm just going to kind of go in with this lineup. It's not really going to matter too much for our purposes. And if I really wanted to speed this up, I could switch off of this and I could use one of my other Mystic codes here. Again, this Mystic code has a 20% targetable charge skill on it, so it can be really useful. The third one here is also something that allow you to shuffle the cards that you have. So if you don't like the cards that you're using at the moment, you can use that. They're going to have cooldowns on them, but they're nice. And this is a party-wide heal, so definitely some interesting stuff there. I'll go ahead and use it here and show you guys kind of how it works. Okay, as we load in, again, health values are a lot more manageable now here. Basically just going to go ahead and do that. And I could go ahead and use it, but basically this one should not be too difficult for me to kind of just card out. We're going to let Waver handle the first one there. Nitocris just barely didn't get that done. Dirty at 72%. Yeah, this is probably a pretty good one to go ahead and fire off the NP with her. We'll do that. We'll give her the attack up. We're not going to have enough on the back end here to get back to another Noble Phantasm, but this is kind of just a good wave. We don't know what's in the final wave, so it may be like gold enemies that you can't death proc as easily. So it's kind of a just use it to get it out. There you go. She actually death procced all 3 of them, so no refund off of that. No chance of carding on the back end, but it's good because death procs just kind of ignore health at that point. It's like it's dead. You don't have to worry about it living somehow through the Noble Phantasm's damage output. So it just kind of does its thing. Interestingly enough here, we have Janu. She's got the 1 Buster card. Nito's got a Quick card. And Waver there has an Arts card. So we can maybe get some stuff done with that. I'm actually going to give the crit damage to her. It may not matter, but we're basically going to do that. And she has a 50% chance here, and she doesn't land it, unfortunately. And then who did was Nitocris, who I would have rather given the charge to. So it is what it is, but it's not going to be too difficult here for us to card this out. Okay, so Nitocris easily handles that, and then Waver gets a lucky crit. And we get right through the node. You can see some of these earlier nodes for story, they're not too difficult. You can kind of just card your way through. You're going to get Ascension materials, QP, things like that from doing them. So they're really nice. Definitely make sure you're doing story and catching up. I usually take some time here and try to blitz all the way to level 17 to unlock that 40 AP to be able to do stuff. But then from there, I will start to focus a little bit more on story. Okay, I gotta keep using John because again, just the extra 200 FP is kind of nice. But really doesn't matter too much. An assassin would be good here, so we'll go ahead and remove Kentoki in favor of Sutheno. Everyone's favorite Sutheno. Technically, we shouldn't take Nitocris in here because, again, it's a caster against a rider. But Nitocris is kind of an exception to the rule because of her ability to death proc stuff. And again, chat, if you guys have any questions as a newer player, feel free to ask. Always happy to answer you guys' inquiries. We got the rider here. It's a wyvern. I'm going to go ahead and pop the defense up just to kind of make us a little bit tankier. You can see if we were to try to target the wyvern, basically our casters would not be doing too hot. So we're going to go ahead and target either the first or the second. Doesn't really matter. Going to do the triple arch chain. Everybody in the party gets 20% charge for that, plus their attack. NP gain. And what we're actually going to be hoping for here is Janu cards to card this Wyvern out. He's got crit damage, which is really spicy and not good for these casters. Okay, Waver got lucky there and actually managed to kill. I guess that's just, he hard level checked that. Because again, these are like level 10 enemies. And in general, you could use that as a little bit of a rule of thumb if you're wondering like what level should you be at for the content. At least to some extent, if you look at the enemies and they are a lot higher level than you, that may be a problem. It may be a sign that you need to go level up your units some. So again, keep doing Ember gatherings and things in the interim. That way you're kind of helping yourself out with that stuff. Yeah, I'm going to death proc you. If I can. Do the story supports have updated skills? Usually no. How's it feel to go back to the beginning and not steamroll everything? I'm still kind of steamrolling everything. I know what I'm doing, so it is what it is. It's going to be kind of difficult for the game to give me much of a challenge at this point, and I'm already very well set up. Oh, well, there we go. We actually ended up with an entire John chain here, so that's kind of ideal. Though she is only level 20, so she may struggle to kill. All right, give me that extra attack. Yeah, there you go. The extra attack usually hits a little bit harder, so getting that Brave chain out sometimes can be really, really nice. Especially if you abuse friend support units. Yeah, story, like part 1 story is not going to be too difficult until you get to like Camelot or anything. And even then, if you know what you're doing in those, it's really not too bad if you just use friend supports. In every fight? I don't know about every fight. Okay, so we got at least some courts there. And again, we have the extra fragments. So I'm going to go ahead, now that I have enough for an entire multi, and usually want to save up for a multi. A multi is going to cost you 30 courts. Again, you can pick and choose if you're starting at a different time, you're not going to have the same banners here as me. But I keep pointing out, it's like one of the banners I was trying to go after there was Scotty, because Scotty actually is one of the meta casters, but her banner is gone now. Again, you do have this GSSR for Start Dash if you're a new player. Feel free to go for it. It is going to cost you some paid courts, which means you're going to have to spend a little bit of actual money on the game to do this. But it's really good value. You're going to get a guaranteed SSR from one of these. It is somewhat random, so it's not going to be like the selector earlier where you just picked one. For me here personally, actually, let's go ahead and let's do my FP roll here first. Oh, we got our first command code, I believe. Command codes are interesting. You can attach them to a unit's cards and they'll gain additional effects. So you can see this is kind of nice, but you're going to have command keys in order to be able to put them on. That's something you'll get from doing events or campaigns or buying them out of the monthly shop using mana prisms. Though to me, that is not the best use of your mana prisms early on, so I don't necessarily recommend it. We actually got another copy of Chen Gong, so that's nice. And now, honestly, I'm kind of eyeing the Medusa banner here because basically this particular craft essence that I know of is actually an invuln Pierce. I was talking about it with Trubs earlier, so that might actually be kind of valuable. But let's see, what else do we have? So we could do the Rider here, Bakin. She's not a bad unit by any stretch, and you also have Avenger Lobo there on that one. Hokusai is not too awful either, but this one doesn't have the event CEs on it. And then there's Jalter, and Jalter's kind of stupid and hilarious. So there's that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think we'll go for Medusa Saber, and we'll see what we can get here. I don't have 10 tickets, so I'm not going to do that. We're just going to do the multi for right now. We're going to see what we can get. Hopefully something new. And if you're a new player, obviously in FGO and really any gacha game, it's a good idea to save and kind of go after the things you want. But if you're a new player, you don't have very much, it's not really that bad to kind of just throw your currency at stuff for a little bit. Because you're kind of just, you need anything you can get your hands on to a degree to help your account out. But there's definitely some value in hoarding quartz and saving. So we got Hozuin Lancer. He's an interesting one. Probably not one I'm going to invest in the short term here. But learn to save eventually? Yes, you should absolutely learn to save. Art of Death, that's actually a pretty decent artsy. Or wait. No, I'm thinking of Poisonous Snake. That's the anti-man one, isn't it, chat? Elixir of Love. There's a couple C's I'm looking for here. Hopefully I can get one. One's going to be Dragon's Meridian. It's a 3-star that has a starting charge on it. Another one is going to be the 4-star variant of that, and obviously the 5-star variant of that would be great. That's Kaleidoscope that we mentioned earlier. Son of 100 Faces. All right, that's going to make her a little bit better in the face of having multiple copies of Jinki. Got the 3-star CE for the event. Anti-humanoid, yes. Saber. Fergus again. Okay, so that's another copy for him. Clergyman's Dinner. That's the second one of that we've gotten. That's kind of funny. A little bit like I said, early on, you don't really want repeats. You kind of actually want a diverse lineup of craft essence and stuff. It gives you more options. So, Fraggerack's not too bad. I only believe in my God. The art for that's just great. How high do I think a new player would be able to climb in the current tower event? They could probably get the story done. Actually, I don't know. The curate battle might be a little bit difficult. So that was actually a pretty crappy multi there. We really, like, the only 4-star CE that we got was a CE that we already had, which, given how many craft essences are in the game, that's extremely bad. Oh, no. Okay, sorry. So we actually did get the second one. I did forget about that. This one, like I said, it's not a bad one. It's actually pretty decent. I can use this pretty effectively. But just about everything else here was either just something we already had or, like, not like that big of a deal for us at the moment. So that's pretty much the worst possible result at that point. The next time I'll be able to roll probably when I get 10 tickets or if I manage to get 30 quartz in the interim. Oh, I'm not trying to rush story at the moment. There's really no reason to. Like, usually you'll want to because you'll want to get caught up on story for events and stuff, but like right now with the current schedule on an A, I actually happen to know for a fact that like I don't have an immediate need for that, so it's not going to be a big deal. Okay, it's Berserker, so this one really doesn't matter at this point. We can kind of just go with whatever we want. QP is going to start to become a concern for us. I may go do a training ground, or not training ground, treasure vault run just to get us some QP. Because you can get a couple million that way. Oh, that old design for Jelter. You'd never get there easily? Yeah. Okay, we're dealing with a Vlad here. Vlad's actually a pretty good berserker in his own right. He's come a long way. He used to kind of be kind of meh. But he's definitely capable of doing some good stuff. We're going to go ahead and use the 20% charge there. It's going to get Nito Chris to full. Pop her death proc there. And then, ironically enough, I'm actually going to do this right here. So we're going to fire off John's NP, then Nito's NP. This is going to give me a higher chance at death procking. So you can see, if you hold down over the Noble Phantasm, it'll say chance to inflict death. Chance increases with overcharge. So putting her in a sequence of NPs and putting her second will give her a higher overcharge rank. Now, John's going to stun herself, so we don't want to use one of her cards. That's just the unfortunate nature of using her without her upgrade. But this invuln will stop Vlad from being able to, like, really just kind of run roughshod over my characters. Berserkers can hit really hard, so you have to be really careful of them. There you go. She doesn't kill, obviously, because again, it's a servant. You're still gonna like pop the death proc skill, hoping that you do, but the odds of it are really low. It's like sub 1% odds. So you just understand it's like it's probably not gonna happen, but just in case, like there's a chance. I'm gonna let her card, see if she can manage to finish him off. She should be able to, but admittedly, we don't have the highest level. It took all the way to the extra attack for it to happen. But she gets the job done. And there we go. Apparently we have a tutorial to defeat Berserker class missions. Berserker class servants. We also have a weekly to do king servants. So that's something we'll want to do here. Not too difficult to get done, though, in story here. Yeah, let's actually go do a QP run, because that will actually help us. As I'll be able to get over the stumbling block for some of our stuff. So, again, it's under the daily quests here. Now, there's a whole lot available for us right at the moment, but basically, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to want whatever the highest level is that you can do. The extreme version, don't be intimidated by it. It might say it's a required level 60, but as long as you have 40 AP, you can do it. And we're going to do it. And I'm going to show you guys Drake if I can. Assuming there is a Drake that actually... So this is not a bad Drake. This is a really good Drake. But that would be inappropriate to show you guys. Let's see if I can find one that has basically this CE, the Da Vinci CE, Bella Lisa. It's increasing the amount of QP obtained from drops by 5%, but it's 15 if it's taken as a support. So if you use a friend support that has the CE, it's going to really, really help you out. I'm going to refresh for a bit here, see if I can find a Drake that has one. I did see one earlier today. Not sure if I'll see another. Whenever you're doing QP runs, that's usually when this sort of thing matters. We do have some decent options here. I'll maybe go with this one instead. This is Taigong Wang. He's a 50% charging sort of pseudo support character. He's a writer. He's AoE. We're going to swap out Sathino in case something happens here. We're going to put in Kentoki. We're actually going to switch with Nitocris because this way we'll have two writers for facing all of these casters. Yeah, proc is one of those ones where it's like, even for a long time I didn't understand what it meant. But yeah, I think it is program random occurrence or something like that. It's just old game terminology. Same thing if you ever hear me calling like an enemy a mob. That doesn't mean I'm referring to a group of enemies. This is actually short for calling them a mobile, which is a term that was used before they started getting called NPCs. Basically a mobile enemy. That is where the term mob comes from. Okay, so we can go ahead and I could actually like get him up to a noble phantasm here real early. And I think it's actually what we're gonna do, because basically we've got 3 waves here. I need to be set in stone for the final one, but we're gonna try to just kind of get him up and running and try to get some easy like turns of NP gain, which won't happen on this wave, but it'll probably happen on the next one. It's one of those words I don't understand the origins of. I just use it as it's been used. Yeah, you understand the context. Like then people called them creeps. Yep, that too. There were a lot of terms for it. And it honestly, it depended on the game. It depended on like what you were playing. Whereas now they've become sort of colloquialized and used everywhere. Now, Kentucky is the other welfare that we got first. The only reason I'm going to deviate from that choice now and not finish him right away is because there's an evocation festival specific to another one that I can get some easy rewards out of. Otherwise, I would just keep like choosing to do everything for Kentucky until he was like I had all of his copies and all of his Ascension materials. So you can see Tai Gong Wang literally already almost back to an NP. We're gonna basically have it at this point. And we're also going to have Kentucky's NP for this, so you guys will probably get to see it, because this should be a hefty Junako here. AKA the golden elephant statue. Heavy divine special attack and decreased quick card resistance. So because this decreases the quick card resistance, yes, if you put him later in the chain, you would get more, but it's actually going to be good to put him first, since that will make Kentucky's NP hit harder as well, since they're both quick NPs. Prelude to Saber Hokusai, very good welfare saber. Yeah, but there's Jerker. And Jerker's like a Swiss Army knife. It's funny because earlier I was in the tower event and I was using Jerker and I went to go press the Buster skill and I was like, wait, why didn't she get 20% charge? And I was so confused for the longest time. And then I realized I wasn't using Jerker. I was using original Jalter. So again, you saw there, I got 4 million. And if you have craft essences like this of your own, you'll get even more. So it's really, really a good... Actually, I should have friend requested that guy. But definitely a good thing to run the occasional one. Because I think like prior to that, I only had like 200,000. So just doing one run of that got me a ton. Now, it's going to get even more expensive. There'll be skills that'll cost way more than 4 million. So that's... It is what it is. But at least for an early game unit like me, that's really nice. And now I can level this skill up. And now we're reaching level 4. Level 4 is where you'll first start to encounter Ascension materials. And you can see, it requires forbidden pages. I do not have this Ascension material. Not yet. I have 3 of them. I don't have 5 of them is the problem. But actually, let's go see if there's somebody else that we can work on here. Particularly Nitocris, her charge skill would be really nice to get. We'll level that up a little bit. We don't have enough to do more. I could go back to the drawing board a little bit and do some more. Actually, did I combine copies of Kentucky? Let's go see. Looks like I did. Yeah. So he's already in P2. Nobody else there has anything. Sabers and stuff like this. Like I said, I could combine more copies. I'm going to lock them for right now. Gotta go through and do this for each class, basically. Now, your first copy will automatically lock, but additional copies will not. At least not with the lower rarity units, so you got to be careful with that. Actually, I say that, but the Babbage one didn't lock. Actually, this is one that I think I'll go ahead and I will combine. Again, it's going to cost me 20,000 QP. Not a whole lot, but if you do this for like every unit over time, this will add up a little bit. So you got to be careful early game and only like combine the units real quickly that you imminently need. I would not necessarily just go around like, so for instance, I didn't do it with Jinky or the Jekyll and Hyde's there. Same thing, not going to do it with the Asterios yet. I just don't imminently need them. It's not a good idea. And just to show you guys this as well, let's go do a training ground. Uh-oh. Man, really taking a long time to load. So in particular, you guys know I need caster materials right now because I got Waver, I got Nitocris. I'm going to come do the caster daily. There's actually a rotation. It does change and depend on which day, but for right now, with whatever campaign's going on, I basically have them all available. So that's definitely working out for me. But again, like, I'm going to come in here. It's same deal. I'm facing casters, so we're basically going to choose a rider. I don't need the QP CE for this because it's a training ground. I'm not going to really necessarily get a whole lot of QP out of this. So instead, I'm going to be looking for a decent, like, Drake. Now, this one might look decent at first. In fact, there is a 50% CE on them. The problem with this is a 1-1-1 Drake. So that's definitely not ideal. I don't know how that picked Astolfo there. It's like the game's telling me something. This Drake doesn't even have a craft essence equipped. Come on, people. Refresh the list here real fast. There's the Drake that I was looking for before that has one. Neither of those Drakes had maxed out skills. You don't have to take someone with maxed out skills, but it's usually a good thing. Because again, especially when there's someone that's going to carry you, you're going to kind of look for something like that. Man, I saw a lot of good Drakes earlier. Now I can't seem to find even one. Okay, Paco's got one. This is actually someone that I used earlier. So he's got a 10-10-10 Drake. Ironically enough, this is a 60% starting charge skill, so this is actually kind of overkill. But it will work, and we'll kind of show this one off. Oh, that's right. Yeah, there is the change that makes them all available. Thank you. I did forget about that. Which is funny, because I did detail that change in the new player guide. Same deal here. We don't necessarily have to do a whole lot, but basically we're just going to Mighty Chain. Drake's one of those units, she's really good at carding. And you can see why. Boom, there you go. She just outright killed the first Lamia. If your Drake doesn't, maybe the Drake is not like maxed out. Maybe the person didn't put foes on them. Maybe they don't have a good CE on them. But in general, yeah, you can get a whole lot done here with this stuff. Go ahead, charge her up to full, and we're going to also pop her middle skill here, which this person's done the upgrade, so it actually has Buster up on it. We're going to fire off the NP. Nothing here should live, but just in case, we're going to use the Brave Chain so that she can kind of get more NP gain if she does. There you go. Just not quite enough there to get the kill on all of it, but still pretty close. Maybe if I had my Waver leveled a little bit more, or I'd used one of Drake's skills. Okay, we're going to let Kentucky get in there, and we're literally just going to let Drake card back to full. Watch the NP gain here. And you didn't get to see the full brunt of that because this is just an NP1. If you have an NP1, 100% is the maximum charge you can get. If you have NP2 or higher, you can see a little bit more. That arts crit took her from 90% to 100, but if she had had more room, that arts crit would have probably taken her from like 90 to like 150, 160. That arts crit will do some major work. So we're going to pop her first skill here. It's a party-wide NP damage and attack up for 1 turn. It's a really, really good idea. And we're going to pop Kentucky's first skill. It's his quick up for 3 turns. We don't have a steroid here to use basically to increase our damage since we went with the NP gain one. And the NP charge one. We're going to fire off. Actually, hold on. Let's take a look at this and let's talk about it, okay? So you can see she'll gain more crit stars with overcharge. This is a decent effect if you want a card on a subsequent turn. But we don't want that necessarily because if we look at Kentucky's, his increases quick card effectiveness that increases with overcharge. So he will basically get more of his like actual card type up if you put him later in a sequence. So we want to do Drake's MP first, then Kentoki's. And actually, if we want to form a mighty chain here, boom, there we go. Now we do Drake's arts card there, and it'll be as if Drake was using her arts card somehow with the effect of an arts card lead. So definitely a really, really potent combination, even if this doesn't manage to kill. And you can see, Drake managed to take out the side unit and half health Sanzang there. And let's see how much our Kentoki Rider can do. And this is just a level 40 Kentoki. He's not maxed out by any means. And he did 108k. Like I said, Drake is just really good. That was a 4-turn of an extreme node. And my account isn't even of the recommended level to do this yet. So it makes doing stuff like this a lot easier. Yeah, we're just level 37. I've been doing this since level 17. You can see we got some nice stuff. We got Void Dust here, which can be really good, but we also got a gold and a like silver gem here. Basically the max tier and the like middle tier of gem, as well as caster statues and monuments, and even a little bit of QP. Not a whole lot, like not considering we did one run that gave us 4 million, but still really nice. I've already sent this person a friend request, so I can't send it again. But yeah, that is basically how it looks when I go through. Unfortunately, I did not get a blue gem, so I'm gonna have to do the run again. Now, if you do the max rank of these, you can get like the possibility to get everything. This is actually gonna be a really good Drake. This is MP2, a aerial drive here, which is really good. CE, it's Buster up, MP strength up, 50% charge, all attack. This person's level 100 in their CE, so it's gonna be really, really nice. It's an MP2, and they literally have 10-10-10 skills with the upgrade done. So yeah, this is like, I'm not gonna say it's the best possible Drake I could take, but it's a good one to find on my support here. Go ahead, pop Kentoki's charge there just to get it out early. And hilariously, Drake has some really good cards here to lead. We're gonna actually use Waver's arts card so that we can fit in Drake's quick card here to hopefully kill the other Lamia. And she easily does it. Drake's really solid because she not only cards hard, she also has really high hit counts on her cards and really good star generation rate. So she has a lot of opportunities to generate stars. And as a writer, Drake is actually the class that has the highest natural star absorption. So she will generate stars really well and then soak them back onto her cards on the next turn. So she's really, really good at just being this kind of like crit machine on top of having 50% charge, on top of having MP damage. Her biggest demerit is that she doesn't have any sort of like hard survival skill like an evasion or an invuln to keep herself alive, but you can take care of her with other supports if that becomes a concern. So she's a really, really nice unit for stuff like this, and she can really do some solid work. You're going to use 2 of Waver's charges there and basically her own middle skill. And actually with this 20%, basically we have 20% here, 30% here, and 50% here. We can NP this turn with Drake and then do it again on the next turn immediately. And actually, if we want to make this even better, we can get Kentoki to an NP. So it's probably a good time for me to talk about this. There's a concept where if you think you're going to kill or you know you're going to kill, you can pre-card an NP. And you can abuse that to get a little bit more MP gain for units that might need it. So in Kentoki's case, I'm going to take his quick card and his arts card. We're going to form a mighty chain. And we're going to fire off the NP. And we're going to target the highest health enemy here just to kind of whittle it down a little bit more. But I think this Drake's going to solidly clear this. There you go. That was actually a pretty easy clear. She did about 247k, which was basically 80k per enemy there. So we failed to kill earlier where they were about 60k each. So that one, if you just took her number and divided it by 3, you kind of got a rough estimate for about how much damage she did there. So again, we're going to pick her first skill here. We're going to pick her third skill. That's going to give her 50% charge. Waver's first skill on her to give her 80%. And then the Mystic Code 20%, and there you go. This is actually going to be a 3-turn potentially if we do this right. The same deal, Kentoki's second, and then there you go, Drake in the third card slot there. And we just managed to min turn a node that is of the extreme level already. Yeah, we're not even going to need the card. And see, this is one of the things where, like, when trying to tell people all along, it's definitely possible to do these things. You have to know a little bit what you're doing. Game knowledge is definitely a factor, but if you follow someone like me, you can figure out, you can watch what I'm doing, you can ask me questions, I can talk to you guys about this stuff. It's one of the big things I've always tried to do is try to educate new players to help you guys get used to the game, because it's definitely different than other gacha games out there. And you can do a whole lot if you know what you're doing, and you can punch well above your weight. This is a 147 player. He's not necessarily in-game level necessarily, but let's take a look at the account, see what they have, because again, this Drake's really good. If I could get this person as a friend, it would definitely be a decent idea. We have Merlin. We have a incomplete Ku Berserker over here, but still not a bad pickup. This is a little bit concerning. Not having CEs on supports means you're going to have a hard time actually using them, but they may just not have good CEs to put on them, or they may have taken them off and forgotten, because again, this is actually event loadouts if you look here. So really, this is just the only support that they have up for normal stuff, is what it looks like. We're going to close out that. I will send the request. And let's see, do I wish to do it again? Actually, chat, did I get a blue gem off of that? I didn't see. You know what? I'll just back out and look myself. No, did I not? Crap. Yep, didn't get anything there. So, actually, did I get any pages? No. We also need the red one, so we'll do like maybe 1 or 2 more runs. Try to get the materials necessary for Waver there. We're trying to jack up his attack up skill, because that's just going to get us even more firepower. It's going to make doing what we're doing already even easier. And you don't have to use someone like Drake. Drake's just a really good unit. She's one of the units I prefer. Let's go ahead. Let's run Taiko Bo here, aka Taigong Wang. And let's kind of do the same thing. Just kind of knowing a unit's kit, knowing how to card, that's going to be like 90% of this game. Knowing what effects are on the enemies, what they can do, that sort of stuff as well. Okay, same deal. We're kind of just going to stagger cards here. Hopefully, Taigong Wang can card it out. All right, he got it. There you go. First wave is down pretty easy there. We're at 30% here. This could be spicy. So he does have 3 turns up. We're going to go ahead and pop that. And we're going to go ahead and give him that. We could pop this. Sanzang, I believe, is in the third wave is not divine or demonic, whereas these enemies are, and it's 3 turns regardless. So let's go ahead and do it. Same deal here. We're probably likely to kill. However, Kentoki's not going to get back to his NP this way. So let's do that, that, and that. Try to get him a little bit of charge here, but it's probably not going to matter. And again, we may not actually clean clear this. Oh, we actually are going to. Only 1 live. Taigong Wang already back. Now, his skill actually gives himself 30% charge, and all allies, including himself, 20%. So he gets 50, everybody else gets 20. We're going to go ahead and pop that. He gets to 100%. Kentoki's now at 61%. Now, we have waiver and basically his 20% that we can give Kentucky, but he's 20% short now. Except we have 20% for the Mystic Code. So, kind of a little bit of luck there on that, but it did work out for us in the end. Now, let's take a look at his. What is his overcharge? Deal heavy divine special attack damage and decrease quick card resistance. Effect increases with overcharge. Same deal. You want to put him first since he's decreasing the quick card effectiveness. So that's just going to kind of help us out a little bit. And it's going to allow Kentucky's NP to hit harder. Yeah, if you do the lowest difficulty, it can be an issue. But I basically need everything. And the highest difficulty can give everything. So it's more just me farming efficiently for the future. But yes, you're right. If all I needed was the blue gems, I should just go do the lower rarities. Yeah, as you can see, that actually dealt more damage than the Drake did. And this is just an NP1, so. Actually, maybe San Zhang is divine? I don't remember. So Kentucky bonds up to 3 there. He's kind of well on his way. Sansang is divine. Okay, that's one of the reasons why. That's my bad. I forgot she was. There we go. We level up again. Very quickly advancing in levels. We did get a forbidden page and a red gem. Both those are really, really nice. Let's take a look at this guy's account. He's got Gilgamesh Caster's Bond CE. That's clearly someone he really likes. Pretty decent Merlin there. Same thing with Ozzy. Actually, if I had to bet, this is probably a female player because it's a lot of male characters. But that's fine. The male characters in FGO are actually really, really good in a lot of ways. So it's definitely not a problem to have a primarily male loadout. Still got Castoria there. Yeah. I'm definitely down to send this request. Mm, 555 skills. One of the reasons I'm being such a stickler for the skills is the charge. The charge is a really good indicator. Like if the charge skill's Lord, it's going to give 50%. Okay, when I say Lord, it's it has a crystallized lore put on it, which means it is a level 10 skill. If it is a Lord skill, it's going to be really good. It's going to have a nice even charge increment. If not, it won't, and I might not be able to complete the run as fast. Now, it might not matter. There's a point at which it's like just go into the node rather than sit here refreshing over and over again. But I definitely like, especially since I'm punching above my weight here, for the run to go smoothly. I do not believe this is a charge C. It is not. Not the best of C's to equip there, and the skills are not too leveled. This will be a little bit interesting for charge purposes. This will not be a 3-turn by any stretch of the imagination, but should be fun. She's got Origin Bullet equipped, and Origin Bullet basically increases the damage dealt versus casters, which is perfect for a Rider who's already counter to casters. Bakin, as you guys can see, has basically increasing charge and charge for allies. Definitely nice there. He also has a targeted middle skill that has a whole bunch of really nice effects, and an arts up for herself as well. You'll see if Kentucky can handle one of them. He can. He gets some lucky crits. Oh, but her quick card in the 3rd slot's not enough. Baki's someone she kind of wants all of her buffs active for her performance, because they're pretty decent, and that's why. So usually if you see a unit that has like a lot of modifiers in their kit, it doesn't mean that they're bad without it. It just means that they're kind of balanced around having it up, and if they don't have it up, the unit might struggle a little bit. So I could go ahead and quick. Problem is she's very likely to kill. Let's take the free turn here and kind of just charge her a little bit more. And this is a demon, so he might drop a demon heart for us. I don't have Kentoki's third skill, it's his heal, so got to be a little bit careful here. Go ahead and heal them a little bit. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pop Baki's buff. We're going to put her targeted skill on herself. And we're going to try kind of to loop her, but she may just outright kill since we damaged the high health demon there. Baki is a famous writer from Japan and tells a story about dogs. And there we go. So she easily killed. She refunded about 33%, so that's not ideal. Her buffs are very likely to wear off before we get her back to an NP, especially since both of her arts cards were there. Probably not the smartest play I've ever done. At this point, we can go ahead and we can choose to like fire off an NP with Kentoki if we want. But I actually am going to need an arts card here to try. Well, why don't I just, instead of doing a mighty chain, I'll just sell out to her NP gain. Oh, good. She actually got some pretty easy charge there. Okay, so we're on 6 turns. Don't like these cards again. I'm actually going to shuffle and see what I can get. Still don't really like the cards. Let's see. The problem is we keep getting the quick card for her, so if I want to do a mighty chain, I like can't use Kentoki's quick card, so I can't do his NP until then. Okay, she actually hit Bakin, so get bailed out there. Go ahead. We're not going to really get an NP off with her stuff unless we wait 3 turns. I don't really care to do that. We're just going to fire the NP and let Kentoki kind of do some work, and we may just have to mop up the rest. So like I said, this one's not smooth. Things didn't go our way with this one, and I knew it wouldn't, but I kind of wanted to show you guys a different unit for once. We also have a gold chest at the moment, so that probably does indicate that we have a demonic heart that dropped, but maybe not. Poor Sanzang got run over. There we go. She's down, so we just have Edison to deal with. Edison is an AoE NP, so we do need to watch out for this. We got to kill him within the next 2 turns. But just real quick, if you click on this, you can see what dropped, and there you go. We did actually get a Heart of the Foreign God, aka Demon Heart. We have a Brave Chain here with her, but I think we're just going to lead with the Buster card and do both of her arts cards since they have a high crit chance. And there you go, we got it. So 8 turns, definitely not smooth, but not really in any danger of dying other than potentially Edison getting to his NP. And we are now level 40. We also got another caster gem there, but we did not get a page. Though, to be fair, can't necessarily expect that you'll always get one. And why don't I go show you guys as well here one of the training ground, or not training grounds, one of the Ember gatherings, just to kind of give you guys a walkthrough of that too. So you can do the question mark ones. They're random. I don't really recommend ever doing them. Usually you want to like target whichever Ember gathering gives you the class that you want. How do you know? Because there will be multiple Ember gatherings. Like if you guys see here, for instance, oh, hey, look, here's an Ember gathering that looks like it's Assassin and Lancer, but here's another Ember gathering all the way down here that looks like it. If you look at the top class that's displaying on the right side, you can tell what it is. So this is an Assassin major one, whereas if we go all the way up to these are Lancer major ones. So you'll encounter both classes in both nodes, but if you pick the one that has the top class on it, it'll have a higher chance to spawn those types. So it's to your benefit to kind of target farm and do the ones that you really want. Now, out of this, let's go ahead and let's kind of look at like, who do I want to level right now? Who out of all of my characters actually needs some kind of enhancement? Kentoki's definitely doing solid for us on that front. He's not necessarily got a whole lot of survivability. Waver, he's already high level. We're probably not going to get him too deep in. Nitocris could kind of stand some, but definitely there could be some concerns there. And let's see, anybody else immediately jumping out at me? And we could obviously do like Roma and stuff. Let's go look at Ascensions. If you actually come down here to Ascensions, where you will go to Ascend characters, you can click on a character even if they're not ready yet, and you can look to see what do they need. So Nitocris is going to need pages. We've already established I need pages for Waver as well. I don't have that. Generally speaking, you want to favor Ascension materials being used for actual Ascension over skills, but there's definitely some exceptions to that, like if you have a meta support. So it's definitely a thing. Let's kind of see what Kentoki would take. Kentoki doesn't take anything because we already purchased his special Ascension item from the welfare shop. So he's going to be a really, really good one to go with because it's not going to be anything that's going to hold me back. So we probably want to target farm Riders here for a little bit to get a Kentoki up and online so that he can kind of help us card through things, at least at minimum. So scrolling back up here, looking through these, we have the Saber and Rider ones, and this one has Rider on top. So this is the Rider Extreme one. That's going to be the one we want to do. Unfortunately for this, we're going to need an Assassin, and Assassins are not normally the highest octane units in the game. So it's definitely going to be something we need to be careful with. We could do something like Aikide's Korean Sky of Light here. She's a Buster meta support, but she's also an AoE assassin. We could use something like that. Origin Bullet on an assassin is a strange choice because casters kill assassins, so I don't know why as an assassin you'd want to do extra damage to him. See, sometimes people put things on their CEs and you go like, why did you do that? But it is what it is. You just scroll on and you just like say like, hey, like I don't care at this point. Okay, it's not a bad one. This is from the Sea Monster Crisis event, and it is actually going to allow us, since we have this shooting already done, let me actually see here by turning on skill display. So, doesn't have the append done. That's unfortunate. If the append was maxed, it would give 20% charge, which would be great because with the third skill upgraded and at level 10, Shooting Doji here is a 30% charger. So 20% plus 30% plus the 50% C. That would allow her to NP on turn 1. That being said, I don't really have much better options at the moment, so we're going to go with it. We're just going to make do. Kentoki's not going to be too great here for this sort of thing. He'd be neutral. This is probably a job for an archer of sorts. And out of all of those, there is one that stands out. My man, Arash. Now, again, I really wish I had a craft essence that would increase starting charge, but so far I have not managed to get my hands on any of them. So it is what it is. Not a whole lot I can do. Oh, we have reality marble now. Okay. We can go with that. That'll give me some room to work here. Yeah, Arash is actually going to be a character that we're probably going to try to level up rather quickly. We want to get him online because he's an excellent, even though he's a 1-star, he's an excellent farming tool. Gonna pop his defense up here because he does not have a lot of health, and he could very easily get like kind of insta-gibbed by the hands here, especially since we got a berserker. And at level 7, he's not doing too much in the way of firepower. Though to be fair, even at his max level, which is level 60 for a 1-star, he doesn't do too much in the way of firepower. I'm gonna abuse that though. Basically a triple arch chain, gonna help him get some extra charge here. Oh, please don't. Okay. Woo! That's getting close. Gonna pop the damage cut here. I could almost get him to an NP. He's actually 3% charge off. Let me stagger that, but he's not going to get 3% from this, unfortunately. He got 1%. Oh, thank God. Okay, so he can actually get to an NP. We're going to do it. It's going to rotate the party, but it is what it is. Arash, I choose you. So you can choose his cards, but he kills himself with his NP, so don't. That's my honest to God advice here. I like that Black Rail and Reigns. Yeah, that's also not a smart one. Can't remember the advice you gave me for my JP account? No. What did I give you? Okay, what do we have here? So now, because we've upgraded our skill a little bit, instead of 60%, it's now 66%. We get even more. So again, it's one of those reasons why you kind of do want to level skills a little bit here. Shooting already has her NP. We are going to abuse this for a little bit of charge for Nito. And we're not, because that 10% chance of crit happened. Never mind. That's what I get for trying to be cheeky. I should have put her card first. So we could fire off Shooting's NP here, but probably not the best of ideas at the moment. I'm gonna whittle down the Saber enemies here just a little bit as we try to get Nito Chris to her NP and see if we can get a death proc off. 5 for a person to get a single copy of Sweet Crystal is a good investment. Yeah, it's honestly not bad. The issue is rare prisms, which I do not have at the moment. Okay, we're gonna fire off Nito's NP. We're gonna hope to God she death procs. Not a high chance, but these are, like, even though they're gold enemies, these are like fodder enemies. So there's a chance she could do this. And actually, we'll go ahead and do that. It should give us waivers NP for the next wave. Hey, there we go. We death proc the middle one. Now, this is a particularly bad Ember Gathering node for me because this is literally like assassins are a class that aren't necessarily known for like their farming prowess. So it's not going to be the easiest thing for me, as especially the assassins I do have are not altogether that great yet. Gonna do it like that. Still didn't kill. Ooh, they're trying to get rid of her. Waver, I shouldn't, but I'm trusting you. Never trust Waver's carding capability. Never. And I know that. Always been that way. Oh man, I'm surprised no one's died yet. I'm gonna abuse this for some extra stars, and the extra attack will also generate some. Shuten's gonna need this. She's gonna need a little bit of help on this wave. Like, she can still hard carry this, but this is just like, oof. Well, the worst thing that could have happened there would have been you got a berserker. Oh, never mind. We're not even going to use Waver's MP. We are literally just going to take that triple arch chain and run with it. So Shootin is a poisoner type of enemy, but she can still do some decent AoE damage. Problem here is this is a high health single target enemy. But she still did actually pretty good here. So she has a solid chance of finishing this off with an arts crit. And let's see if the extra attack can get it. And it does. There you go. She managed to one turn the enemy. 12 turns. That was kind of suffering. That's like, usually you don't want a mission to end up that way, but you can see that kind of fell apart, but I still managed to like hobble my way through the node. Can't you teach new players how to crash the game and retry a turn? I could, but I'm on an emulator, so that would require me to actually close the app. But yes, that's the thing you can do if you don't like the results of a turn. You can actually close your app on your phone or your emulator and reopen it. It'll continue from where you left off from the beginning of that turn. So as long as you do it before it's your next turn, you can kind of reading Steiner it and rewind time. Definitely something you can use to your advantage in difficult scenarios. Even more quartz. There you go. Oh, wow. That's good. It saves after each skill activation, though. Well, yeah, because that's your turn. Let's see. So we should have gotten some nice Rider Embers for that. Let's go ahead and give Kentoki some love. And those should be 5-star Rider Embers as well. So you can see, boom, there you go. Already, just each one of them giving that man 5 levels. And we got a super success proc. Nice. So he's almost to level 50. Let's see. Do I have... Still not enough. That's fine. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do those two. Okay, so Kentoki's now level 50. We're going to ascend him. It's going to take a little bit of QP. Thankfully, we actually saved some. This is his second ascension, so this will not unlock a new skill for him. We need to get him through the third ascension to do that. But the third ascension will give him a heal. That could definitely be nice. And we can actually, if we level him up, we can get a rare prism, because whenever you max ascend a welfare unit, you can get a rare prism out of it. Okay. I'm just trying to think, like, did I need to do something there? Level up 2 servants to level 50. Waver counts for that. So Kentoki's actually our highest level character. Still nothing here that I can use necessarily yet. They're all going to be useful to me. I will eventually exchange them, but at least as of right now, not something I necessarily need. What do I need here? I need another king servant. I get a king servant. Oh, we don't have the upgrade yet where I can just click on this. Yeah, JP has one where if you click on it, it'll show you like available nodes that'll give it to you. There's definitely some I can get to through the story, so that's not like worrisome. I can definitely get to it. Fuyuki G? Yeah, actually, you're probably right. Let's see. Let's go touch a free quest real fast. Go back to Fuyuki. Wait, that's the Berserker. It's not G, is it? This one. It's Massive Cavern, I believe. This is just something I happen to know. Salter here should be the big one, but this should not be too difficult. I'm gonna run in here with like just a pretty strong Berserker. Why don't we show off Mama Raiko? Mama is a really, really nice character. And she's actually due in for an upgrade here soon. With NA's upcoming anniversary, she should gain her 30% charge, which will make her much more usable than she has been in the past. Is the new account able to touch the event? No. The event requires LB6 completion. We are in Orleans. Wait, start by popping that. Getting some charge out here immediately. Again, not too high health of enemies. Should be able to work. I trust Waver's carding ability. Famous last words. To be fair, Waver's cards, when they're following a Buster card, do a lot better. When they are not, they are anemic sometimes. Do that. Give us the attack up. Give him the Buster attack. There's no way I'm gonna like completely card this out. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna ensure that he kills it. Oh, now he does 19k. All of those cards crit. What the heck was that RNG? This won't matter. I probably could have pre-carded with Nito, but I actually could have charged her up there and had her take the wave. There we go. So she has a Buster up and evade, and she also has anti-demonic and anti-heaven and earth servant. Salter here should be an earth servant, so we actually should get some additional benefit from Mama Raiko's NP, but it really won't matter too much. She also has a Star Soak skill with crit strength up, so it's definitely a nice one. But let's show you guys Mama Raiko's NP. Did you say not to trust this carding ability a second ago? Yes, I did. To be fair, I kind of know when I can and when I can't get away with it. But sometimes you have to rely on it, and that's what sucks. Especially early on. Early on in your account's history, you're going to do a lot of carding. Later on, you're going to do a lot of noble phantasming. Very flashy NP. And there you go. She easily killed. Wait, have I not? Okay. I guess Fuyuki didn't really have anything other than her, so the only two Saber servants I fought are her and her. So that was a free quest. If you do them 3 times, you can get the quartz reward from it. But they're not our focused at the moment. There we go. We got our weekly missions done, though, and that's something you want to do every week if you can. Because, again, you get quartz fragments from it, but remember, every 7 of these converts into a whole quartz, and you will get literally out of all of this, you have 7 of these times 3, so you're going to get 21, aka you're going to get 3 quartz from doing your weeklies. Your dailies also have stuff, but there is a daily login bonus as well that can give you some nice things. So it's definitely to your benefit to go ahead and do stuff. That way you're actually like getting your account kind of situated. Let's see. Let's continue on through Orleans here. Just a little bit. And let's try to speed things up some. Well, so this may be one of those where I get in trouble because there's riders in this, and it's probably wyverns. Again, Orleans is infamous for its wyvern enemies. They're almost always riders. Basically gonna give her the 20% charge there. We're gonna take the 20% from the Mystic Code. Gonna pop the death chance. I'll probably death proc the wyverns, but who knows? Gonna do the same tactic there where we do John's NP first. And I'll actually do Waver's Arts card there to give him 20% charge as well. I still like the original John NP animation. There we go. We death proc both wyverns, so just the boss is what's left. Oh! Oh, so close to one-turning it. So close. Man, if only I had a charge C. Any charge C. Okay, that got rid of her. Got some, actually got an assassin statue from that. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't have very much FP, it looks like. Yep. Only enough for like 2 rolls, and we don't have anything actually to summon there. Have I gotten more mana prisms? I need 11 more mana prisms, and there is a way I can get them. Let's see if I have enough. So, silver embers in particular can be pretty decent for this style of thing, where you basically burn them on purpose to get mana prisms. That sounds crazy, but honestly, it's not. It's not that crazy. You're going to be able to very quickly and easily get 4 and 5 star embers. So to me, silver embers, and really to a lesser extent 1 and 2 star embers, are also not that worth, but you're not going to get a mana prism from them. You just get QP from burning them. So to me, it's like, hey, yeah, there may be some value in actually kind of torching some of these. So I know I literally need 11. I'm going to burn specifically that amount. And we're gonna run over here, change mana prisms, walk down here, get my summon ticket, and we are going to use that for another multi. And let's see what we can get out of this now. Now you can't roll it all at once, one by one, but we will get at least an 11 spin out of this. And there we go. Winter Crystal. A very nice craft essence. So you can see, this is exactly what I was hoping to get. We now have a starting charge C, and this is really going to be a game changer for us. This is going to allow so many more of our units to be able to start at 60% gauge. So that one ticket alone was worth this entire effort right there. All right, this is going to be a servant. You can tell by the bands that go across stream. It's another Shufu. Also really nice. You got an additional copy of her. Basically, if you see one band go across the screen, it's a craft essence. If you see two, you're only going to see that in the friend point gotcha. But if you see two, it's a command code. And if you see three, it is a servant. Jeweled Sword of Zelrich, also not a bad CE. Again, NP gained by 5% and 25% starting charge at the beginning of battle. So now all of a sudden we're getting starting charge Cs. A little bit of a hesitation there. It's probably something new to me. It is. Sakura's special bento. This one, not too great if I remember correctly. Yeah, healing effectiveness by 5%. Well, I'll lock it just so we have a copy of it. K-scope incoming. I like how chat keeps calling that I'm gonna get like some absurd craft essence. God, we've already gotten 3 copies of this C. It's at least not bad. Arts and starting charge. There's an additional effect for the event, but after the event's over, you won't get that. Homurabara. Arts card MP gain. 25% MP gain's nice. 25% specifically arts card MP gain's a little restrictive. Probably better C's. Another hesitation. And yet not anything new. We now have 4 copies of this. See? We're already close to MLBing this craft essence. What is going on? To be fair, this is the rate up craft essence, so you should expect to get it. Servant. What do we get? Archer. Oh, Urael. That's good. So Urael is an anti-male archer, and she just generally has a good kit. So that's definitely a good one, especially for one of the later singularities. That's going to help us out. Okay, she's already locked by default. Another servant. Lancer. And it's Proto Coup again. Give me the original coup. Come on, game. And this one is the multi-spin. This is the 10th and 11th spin, basically. I got the 4-star C. I don't remember what the base effect of this one is. And the 5-star C. Hell yeah. That is an invuln pierce CE. So that's exactly what we were hoping for. That is a really, really good draw here. So there you go. Pierce Invincible and increase arts card effectiveness by 3% and NP gain overall by 15%. That is a really, really solid pickup. Now we have an Invuln Pierce CE. Now if an enemy has Invuln on it, we can do something about it regardless of what unit we have. That was actually a pretty good one. And let's see, the 4-star one here is quick and arts card effectiveness by 4% and 2 stars per turn each turn. Not too bad if you're going to be carding your way through with things. So again, both these really nice. Again, using higher rarity stuff, though, comes at a cost. There's going to be more party costs. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to deal with. But yeah, that was definitely a great set of tickets. I'm not going to say it couldn't have been better at points, but it's really all you can hope for. It's RNG. You're going to get some bad stuff. You're going to get some good stuff, too, the more you do it. I'm going to go ahead and with this multi-select tool, I'm going to select my 60% starting charge one. and my invuln Pierce, because I'm going to be using those probably decently frequently. And let's see. I have a couple of same class embers to throw on a rash as we continue to advance him. Still have some saber embers. I mean, I could put more into Caesar there, but I'm not sure that's the best investment right now. But we'll have to see. Sometimes you kind of got to make do with your 3 stars and lower. You just may not get other alternatives. Assassin, it's also kind of up in the air for me. I could definitely invest in Setheno. Setheno doesn't have the world's like worst like actual kit for carding, but she doesn't have an offensive NP, and that's one of the biggest issues with her. So that's why I'm not trying to like invest in her too much just yet. The Berserker Embers, I'm gonna save those for when I pick up Jerker out of the welfare shop. But yeah, I think chat, we will probably end it here. Again, we've done a lot. I've shown you guys kind of the dailies. I've talked about doing and unlocking your Mystic Code quests, talked about leveling up units, how to look for, you know, like characters and stuff that can really suit your purposes. And again, like especially looking for friends and accounts like that to kind of help you out. But definitely a lot of this game is going to come down to rolling RNG. I definitely got lucky right there with the invuln Pierce CE. You might not get something like that. That's perfectly fine. Understand, it's just one tool that can help me. There are many tools in this game that you can kind of get your hands on that can help you out early in the game. It's going to be a little bit random, but trust in the process and understand that you will eventually get stuff that will be good for you and help you out. And as long as you guys continue to play actively and you continue to work on your account, do your dailies, get your weeklies done, again, actually work on leveling up your servants, doing those training grounds and those ember gatherings and those treasure vaults, it'll really help your account progress. We'll continue this probably with a run that's more focused on Fiyuki. In the interim, off stream here, I'll probably be doing runs. I'll probably make some blue apples, but I'll probably be doing runs on like those daily quests again, just to kind of get my account more resources and advance it before we go deeper into the story. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys for the next one. Later. Hey, if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe, right?